EduwebTV
Hey everyone, welcome to DidikTV KPM. My name is Chris, and in this segment of Success SPM 2021 Pecutan, we will be focusing on English paper 2, focusing on writing. So students, if you want to score the best marks that you can for this paper, please pay attention, get your notebooks out, your stationery. But first, let's get to know today's teacher. That's right, we have Mr. Hanin with us here in class. Hi, Mr. Hanin, how are you doing?
So far, I'm fine today, and I'm very excited to share something with our students.
That's right, I am excited to learn as well to score better in English paper 2. So, Mr. Hanin, shall we begin today's lesson on English paper 2 writing?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Let's go. Yeah, so everybody, we are going to focus on English paper writing, and this is going to be a guide for everybody. So listen very, very carefully. Okay, so let's remind ourselves what are the components inside paper 2, right? So let me show to everybody. This is the overview. Okay. So the time would be for 1.5 hours or 90 minutes for this particular paper. In this paper, we have 3 major parts, which are Part 1, Part 2, and also Part 3. I think by this time, all the candidates know about Paper 2 writing for English. And as you can see, there are levels over here. A2 level for Part 1, B1 level for Part 2, and B2 level for Part 3. And these are under the CEFR, which is what we are using right now for our testing, okay? So please make sure that you follow this, yeah, right? And okay, so these are among the things that we need to know, which are for Part 1, short communicative message, right? So for short communicative message, candidates are required to respond to a short message, such as an email, and also from someone the writer knows, a friend, a family members, and a relative, or etc. And this should be written for about 80 words.
So I have a question, sir. In your previous slide,
Yep.
you mentioned, in the previous slide, so there is A2 level, B1 level, and B2 level. Could you explain to us what do you mean by these levels?
So these are the level of requirement of the difficulties of this task, right? So the difficulty, like Part 1 is like considered quite easy.
Okay.
Right. For Part 2 is a little bit harder.
Right.
However, for Part 3 is the hardest so far for the candidates to know. And we are going to explain more a little bit further as we go on with the lesson.
All right. So students who are watching at home, we will be taking a short break right now, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right with you here on Success SPM 2021 Pecutan for English Paper 2 with Mr. Hanin. See you later.
DidikTV KPM.
Tak, sebab dalam segmen pertama tu sampai slide 4 je. Okay, sure. Take your time, take your time. So after this you got more time to share more. So take your time. Take your time. Yeah. Faham. Saya pun cuba tadi nak tanya soalan. Tak apa. It's okay. Just that after this you got more time. So we can take our time lah for the next segment. So for slide 5 to 19. Betul. So sekarang segmen 1, slide 5 to 19. So we have extra 2 minutes.
This one?
Correct. Yeah, after this, yeah.
So supposedly, right?
Tak apa, tak apa. It's okay. Tak ada hal, sir. Okay. Relax ni, take your time. We got time. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Not deep enough, sir. Deeper. You want to do some pump push-ups? Can,
DidikTV KPM.
Hi, welcome back to Sukses SPM 2021 Pecutan for English Paper 2 with Mr. Hanin from SMK Ungku Aziz. Now, in this segment, we'll be focusing on Paper 2 Part 1, Short Communicative Message. So, Mr. Hanin, shall we begin this segment?
Okay, thank you, Chris. So everybody, please remember that for Part 1, for Paper 2 writing, you need to do Part 1 short communicative message. So let me remind everybody about this task. The task, candidates are required to respond to a short message, such as an email from someone the writer knows, a friend, family members, a relative, etc. in about 80 words.
Okay.
So it's not compulsory for them to write 80 words. So there's just only an estimation.
I see.
So they can write about that and not too lengthy as well because, you know, the time constraint.
Okay.
So we need to follow that as well. Remember, whenever that you are writing, time is also a thing that you need to consider. Okay. Now, we go on to the next one. How it should be written? Is it formal or informal? What do you think, Chris?
Well, because it's a communicative message, I
Right.
think it should be informal. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be informal writing because, as I mentioned before, because you are writing to the person that we know,
Yes.
of course you are going to write informally with the person that you know. Okay, everybody, please remember that. Okay, now, so what we are going to look into when we are writing. So please remember, these are the skills that you need to pay attention when you are writing. There are 4 things that you need to know, which are content, communicative achievement, organization, and also the language. So the maximum marks for each of these skills are 5, right?
Okay.
So the total mark would be 20. So you are going to see the same thing for Part 2 and Part 3.
Okay.
Because the total will be 20 marks, okay? Now, so this is what are the things that we can actually do, Chris?
Yeah.
To improve ourselves, to become a better writer, because it's not just for good writer, it's also for those who might be struggling.
Yeah.
But as long as you pay attention to what we are sharing today, then that is the best way for you to score for the papers.
Okay.
As I mentioned, there are 4 things that we need to know. The first one is the content. So all content must be relevant. So of course, when you are writing, you need to make sure whatever that you are writing is relevant to the task. If it's not relevant, then you wouldn't get the score.
Yes.
So try to make sure that you follow what is needed by the question only, okay? And also for communicative achievement, straightforward ideas. Don't go beating around the bush, talking nonsense or writing nonsense, because what we want for Part 1, as I mentioned, this one, you need to be just straightforward.
Okay.
Do not try to elaborate so much because this...
that may take more time as well.
More time as
Right.
well, which is a factor because we need to write 3 parts. Okay, and also, number 2, under communicative achievement, don't confuse the reader with unnecessary fact. The things which are unnecessary, please don't put it there, okay? And for organization, use simple connectors. For example, and, but, which is very simple. But sometimes the students, they fail to put the connectors. They make like very, very simple sentence, and there's no connection between one sentence to another. So make sure you put the connectors and use a few cohesive devices. Yeah, cohesive devices like moreover, furthermore. You can put that. Don't be afraid. If there is more, then it will make your answer become smooth and coherent as well. Okay, and also for language, use basic vocabulary correctly, and also meaning can still be determined even when errors are noticeable. So Chris here, for part 1, errors still can be there, but you still can get a good score.
Okay.
Please don't be terrified. If you're doing like some errors and you once you check and then it may not be corrected once you already finished, so don't be worried about that so much. So it's normal for us to do mistakes. We are not perfect writers because we are still learning the language, right?
Yep.
So we go on to the question. So this is the sample question. You have received an email from your friend Julia who has a problem with her friend. So, hi, I've got a problem and I really need your advice. I was supposed to meet Alina last night at the cinema, but I totally forgot about it. It's the 3rd time already. Pity our friends over here. Yeah? I've let her down and now she must be really upset. She won't speak to me. What can I do? So, what we need to do in order for us to answer this? So, we need to do this APWC. This is a technique that I think that might work for everybody out there, especially the student, to answer this question. It is first, analyze, 2, plan, 3, write, and the 4th one will be check. So, okay?
Okay.
Now, for part 1, so the first thing that we need to do is analyze.
So,
yes.
What do you mean by analyze?
Okay, please remember, yeah, because we are answering the question. Why we need to analyze? We need to know what we need to do. So we need to analyze a little bit of the question on the task that we need to complete in order for us to get a good score. Okay. So, to whom we are writing for? Just now, it was meant for Julia. If you notice, yeah. So we need to write back to Julia. So don't write other people's name.
Yes.
Right, because now the questions are tricky. If you don't pay like very good attention to the question, then you might write other people's name. It will affect the mark a little bit. You know,
the content segment.
Yes, the content segment. Okay, what we need to do next is also, what is it about? We need to identify actually what we need to reply to our friends, right? So now, she wants to, I think this is the last part. She won't speak to me. This is the problem, right? Yes. What can I do? So it's good for you to have a highlight or maybe a red pen for you to underline the necessary questions. Okay? Now, what is the last one? What to reply? So as I mentioned before, what can I do? So you need to give some response.
To Julia.
To Julia. Some ideas, some opinions, some feedback to our friend. So please do that. Okay. Now, we go on to the next one, which is our plan. Your answer should consist of 1, introduction, 2, body, and 3, conclusion. For introduction, 1 or 2 sentences only, because remember, we need to write around 80 words only. That is not too much. And also, we don't want to write too much because it's going to be too long and then time will be wasted. Okay, so this is my suggestion. Body, 2 to 3 sentences must include the tasks that we highlighted before. And also the last one, the conclusion, maybe around 1 or 2 sentences only. Okay. Now, for the writing part, this is the next steps, students out there, you are encouraged to use simple and compound sentences at this part. Don't just use simple sentences. You can include compound sentences. Don't be afraid. Maybe the good one, they can put complex sentences as well. Okay, and then be straightforward, as I mentioned before, because this is a part of the things that you need to fulfill in order for you to get a better score. And then the 3, include connectors or a few cohesive devices. if you don't put any connectors, then there will be no mark for you for the organization parts. Please remember that. Try to include, because we have been learning about cohesive devices and also connectors. And also, for organize your thought, whatever that you feel is more important, you must give a priority to the idea first. Yeah?
Okay.
Maybe you feel, okay, this idea might be more important, so you write the first. Then the second one will be the second one. Okay. And how we can actually write. So this is also one of the technique that I like to introduce to our students over here. Try to use CPE.
CPE.
Yes,
All right.
it's an acronym for connectors or cohesive devices. So that is for this one, right?
Okay.
Is for C.
C.
P is for point, and also E is for example or explanation. Okay.
Okay.
Students out there, you are encouraged to use this form as well, mainly for the body part. Because for me, I believe in content. I know some students, they focus more on introduction and also conclusion. For me, I really suggest to everybody, please focus on the body, because that is the marks coming from that part, okay? Okay, so these are examples that I would suggest to everybody. Yeah, using connectors or cohesive devices first, or moreover, please remember that, yeah? And also the point, you could be honest to her and tell her the reason for you to miss the meetup again. As you can see, Chris, I put this in the bracket, right?
Yeah. What does that mean?
So meaning that some students, they might write until you could be honest to her.
Okay.
Which is already enough, right? Which is already enough. But if you're very good, so you can always add. So that's why don't be afraid to those good writers. They can actually explain more.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, please remember, for those who really want to score, this the last step would be including the example or explanation for the reason that you already gave. So because she would understand you, I bet she's just waiting for you to clarify it.
Okay. So this is estimated to have 36
words already.
Okay.
Just imagine you need to, the other point, right?
Yeah.
Introduction a little bit and also a little bit of conclusion. I think that will be enough for you to be around that 80 words.
All right.
But if you're exceeding, don't exceed it too much as well.
Okay.
And also, for you to remember that we need to always do the last step, which is to check. What we are going to check, Chris, we are going to check, always go through your answer again to check on spelling errors. Yeah? Because sometimes we can be very, very careless when writing. Simple word like her and he, sometimes her become he, and suddenly the gender changes, between the writers. We should write it to Julia, right? And then sometimes our candidates, they put he instead of she. But we know for a fact that we should write to a female person, right? So we should use the correct gender. And also, please check on the missing points, because if you don't have enough points, then it will affect the content mark as well. And then the last one is the grammar part, especially because we are writing. So grammar is always a big part in our language, in English learning. So you need to know about the present tense and past tense and what you need to use. And remember, consistency is key. Okay. So, I want to highlight a little bit more about this.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you write this, please make sure try to use different cohesive devices every time you want to write. Because we have so many cohesive devices that we learn so far through our learning from our primary school to our secondary school. Yeah, please use the cohesive devices correctly and please write well. Okay.
So,
Yes.
I have a question. What are some examples of cohesive devices or connectors besides first and moreover? Do you have a few to share?
Yes, of course. As first and moreover, we have, I try to include here lah. Okay, so
Furthermore.
more.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe Chris would like to give one more?
Besides that,
Okay, that is also one of the very common. Besides
That.
Yeah.
Or besides.
Besides, yeah. If you are putting that, please make sure that there is something before the sentences, because that is you need to refer to something else, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's why you need to know how to use the cohesive devices, and we still got time for you to also ask your teachers at school. They are there to help you, and I'm going to be here to help you guys as well.
Okay. And what about in addition? Is that another example
Cohesive
of
devices, yeah, that we
cohesive
can put.
devices?
Yes.
Okay.
In addition, just bear in mind whatever connectors or cohesive devices that you want to use, make sure it is very suitable to the sentences. It makes sense.
Okay.
Don't suddenly put, for example,
Yeah.
one of the students, maybe they try to put this. Hence.
Hence. Okay.
If you're not sure what is the meaning, please.
So we shouldn't use.
Yeah, we shouldn't use.
Use
Yeah.
what we understand and
Or what
we know.
we understand.
All right.
Okay?
All right, Mr. Hanin. So CPE, connector, point, and example.
Examples.
I think these are very great tips for students at home to score better as well. But this is not all. We have more coming up next. But Mr. Hanin, we'll take a short break. For students at home, we'll be right back here on DidikTV KPM. Don't go anywhere.
DidikTV KPM.
It's okay. Actually, salah sikit. So you got 12 minutes after this. Yeah, that's good. That's a good pace. Yeah, it's a good pace. No, it's okay. This is okay. Good pace. Yeah. Just saya pun tak pasti tadi. Okay. Slide ini slide 16. 16 to 28 kah? Part 2 kan? Part 2. Tak. 23. No, 16 to 23. Check, betul. Check. Boleh. Okay. Yeah, I think it's good. I'm learning a lot as well. Actually, no. I don't see it. Okay, let's take a deep breath again. Okay. It's the weekend, man. Saturday. Dah lah, your birthday yesterday, so.
DidikTV KPM.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sukses SPM 2021 Pecutan with me, Chris MJ, and also Mr. Hanin from SMK Ungku Aziz. And today we are focusing on English Paper 2. And in this segment, we will be focusing on Part 2, which is guided writing. So Mr. Hanin, how about we start the class for Part 2 for English Paper 2?
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Okay, students, pupils out there, please pay attention because we are going to Part 2, guided writing. So what is Part 2 guided writing? So of course, a little bit of introduction, even though we already know, we just want to freshen up a little bit of our memories. Okay. Candidates are required to write an essay in about 125 to 150 words. I just want to highlight over here an essay. So it's a normal paragraph without any specific format. You need to be clear on that. Unless suddenly the question asks you to write in a certain format, then you need to follow the instruction given in the paper. So far, it's just an essay. Let's be clear about that as well. Okay? Now, about 125 to 150 words. So, once again, this is an estimation,
Okay.
right? So you can write between this number, which is very good. For us, they give us like a little bit of estimation so we know what to expect, right?
All right.
So you need to be ready as well, yeah? If you want to write, you need to be around this number. Don't try to write too less, or maybe write too long, as time is a very big factor when we are writing.
Definitely.
Yeah? Definitely. Thank you, Chris. And based on the stimulus given, so in the question there will be stimulus given, the situation. So we are going to look into that, and we are going to highlight on how we can actually address when we want to answer the question, okay? So the stimulus contains a situation and 3 prompts. So far, this is very clear. A situation and also, how many, Chris?
3 prompts.
3 prompts. So in order for us to get a good score, we need to answer all the 3 prompts given.
I
If
see.
you only answer maybe 2 or 1, so it's going to affect which part of the score? Content. So please remember, whatever the question asks you, please try to fulfill the needs of the questions, okay? And relating to the situation, of course, these 3 prompts, don't worry, is going to be about the question itself. It's not going to be outside the text. Suddenly, they want to ask you different question. No.
All right.
Please bear in mind that it's going to be about the question itself, okay?
Okay.
And also, candidate must use all the prompts given and give reasons for their point of views. So if you, because the prompts is already given, so maybe you need to elaborate and just put a little bit on your views.
Right.
Yeah. On the maybe some example or maybe some elaboration. Okay. Now. So, yes, Chris, this is one of the most important part also that we want to highlight to our students out there, the SPM candidates, the 4 components that
we need to focus on.
we need to focus, yeah? The content, the communicative achievement, the organization, and also the last one is the language. Okay, so if you see here content for part 2, all content must be relevant. Just want to highlight again to everybody, whatever that you want to write, please make sure it is relevant to the task. If the task asks you to write on food, then you write about food.
Okay.
If the question asks you to write on health, then you are going to write about health. So don't put irrelevant information that is not needed.
So we always write back, tying back to the question and
the question
given.
and then the task, yeah,
Okay.
and also the stimulus, because it is interrelated with the communicative achievement. Yeah, because we want to write straightforward ideas to hold. Now, we need to hold the reader's attention.
Okay.
Yeah. So for part 2, you need to be able to actually attract the reader's attention. Who is the reader? It's going to be the markers.
The marker.
Okay, so here's the marker. The marker will be a person, right?
Yes.
So a person is so much affected by the emotion. So you need to write well in order to impress a little bit of our marker. So please make sure you try to hold the marker's attention. Okay, and also, yeah, once again, that I want to highlight to everybody, don't confuse the reader with unnecessary facts. Yeah. Once again, want to use the word beat around the bush. Please don't do that. Yeah, because we want to only give whatever necessary for you to answer the question, and also necessary to the task, related to the task only. Because there are some candidates who feel that they can write, so they just put whatever in their writing without thinking too much of the after effect.
Right.
Right. So they think that whatever that I put, so the markers is going to just read without realizing that the markers are looking for certain information that they needed for them to give a better score.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's go on to the next one, organization, because we want to have a very organized answer, right? So answers are well put together. So meaning that you need to organize your thoughts, right? And also use different variation of cohesive devices. Yes, cohesive devices is really important just to make sure that there's a continuation of our paragraph between one paragraph to another. And we have like the introduction, the body, and also the conclusion. We just want to make everything smooth.
Okay.
Okay. And last one, yeah, for the language, use easy and less common vocabulary. What do I mean by less common vocabulary? Chris, what do you think about this less common vocabulary? What do you think?
I'm not too sure, sir. Is it using not so used words?
Yeah.
So more complex words?
Yes, maybe more complex vocabulary, which are not very like common used by our student at school.
Okay.
Instead of like maybe certain words that is very familiar with them is run.
Okay.
Yeah, for this word, for example. But there are other words or other vocabulary that can actually use for us to describe run. The action.
like-
It's not just like
yeah.
run.
Sprint?
Very good, Chris.
Sprint is an example.
Yeah, sprint also another example.
Okay.
That is a word which is less common, which is going to help you to get a better score, especially for the language part. Please remember that. Yes, Chris.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding organization,
Yep.
why is it important to use different variation of cohesive devices? Why not just use one, or two?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very good question, Chris. So, very good, yeah, for Chris to just to highlight because I was like focusing on this, and then we pull back, yeah, to organization. Okay, kids, yeah, the students at home, please remember use different variation. What happened when we use the same thing all over again? What is the feeling? It's going to be what, Chris?
Oh, okay. It might be a bit boring or dull.
Yeah, it might be very boring and very dull. As you know, we are writing to a person, right?
Oh, okay.
A person is going to read through our answers. So the thing is, if you keep on repeating the same word, for example, the same connectors this is very common thing that happened in our setting, whereby this word and is overly used by our students.
Okay.
That's why we introduce connectors and cohesive devices that is going to help giving a little bit of variety when they are writing the answers. Okay.
And this will also help with capturing the reader's attention better.
Very good.
Okay. Understand.
All of these are interconnected.
Okay.
That's why we want our students to believe in us. Yeah, the teachers. We are here to actually tell you guys this is what you can do to actually improve a little bit on your answers and also the quality of your response.
Yes, we believe in you, teachers. Yes, we do believe in you.
Thank
sir.
you,
Don't
Chris,
worry.
for believing in us. Yeah. So I already got Chris' attention.
Yes.
Okay. Now, please remember that errors are acceptable except when it disturbs the meaning. So yeah, as you know, sometimes we can't run from making errors. Yeah, as long as it doesn't really disturb the whole meaning of the context or the whole meaning of the essay.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't even have the time to actually check on our responses. I think just leave it there. Maybe, but focus on writing the whole thing.
Okay.
That is more important. Okay. Now, let's go on to the next one. What to do? This is the strategy that we need to apply. I'm just suggesting this because it works. It really works. If you follow these strategies, then it's really going to help you on what you need to do, the steps that need to be taken. Yeah? The steps are analyze, plan, write, and also check.
Okay. APWC.
Yes, APWC.
Okay.
Just 4 letters, which is going to be embedded in your mind for these few weeks before your examination, but it really works. Okay.
So students, remember 4 letters. APWC.
WC. Okay. Now let's go on explaining a little bit more so that our students out there have a better understanding of what they need to do.
Sure.
Okay. Analyze. So of course this is a question. So the first thing that we need to do is of course to analyze the question. Okay, let's read a little bit the questions. Your class has been talking about how they stayed safe during the movement control order, which is MCO. Yeah, we already experienced that. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, your teacher has asked you to write an essay about what you did to stay safe during the coronavirus pandemic, which is very related. So one of the questions is really the thing that we are discussing currently in our nation.
Yeah.
Right. So in your essay, you should write about, as you remembered, the requirement is you are given a situation and also 3 prompts. What are the prompts? Here. This is the first one. What you did to protect yourself, that is number 1. Okay. Reasons for your choice. So whatever that you choose over here, is related to this, the second one. So you must give reason. But this is the kind of question that is an example. But whatever question comes out, just pay attention on these prompts. Okay? Because this prompt is going to help you in focusing on
organizing
organizing your ideas as well, and
Yeah.
the points that you want to include inside your responses,
Yes.
And also how you kept in touch with your friends. Okay, because we know about this situation, so we are stuck at home.
Yes.
So maybe these are the reason why they are putting these 3 prompts over here. Okay, now shall we move on to the next one?
Sure, sir.
So what is it about? Just now we already gone through.
Yeah.
So we are analyzing these questions. So we know the situation. The situation is about COVID. And also we are stuck at home. So, and also what to write? Please remember the things that are given over here. I'm making a very big round over here, not a perfect circle, but these are the prompts that we need to pay attention. Okay. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, part 2, for the next step, which is on the planning side. Okay. As you know, a very common essay, there must be an introduction, the body, and also the conclusion. Don't miss that, please. Whatever that you are writing, please make sure that these 3 components are there. The introduction, the body, and also the conclusion. So I'm only here just to suggest to you that just write around just 1 paragraph for introduction. But it should be there, just to let people know, right, what you are writing. And also, the body, how many? 1 to 2 paragraphs only. Must include the task that we highlighted before.
The 3 prompts.
The 3 prompts.
Okay.
See, the question already helped you on what you need to write. Okay. And also, the conclusion. Please don't forget, if there's no conclusion, then the reader won't know whether you finish writing. Whether you finish writing or not. It will be hanging, right?
Yes.
Okay. And once we are writing, you are encouraged to use simple and compound sentences. That is a must for this part. But it's going to be upgraded a little bit, whereby you may include complex sentences. Okay, what is complex sentences? Okay, so you can learn more this by asking your teachers at home. Sorry, not at home, at school. Organize your thoughts. Explain the ideas well. Include connectors and cohesive devices. And what is the last step? A, P, W, C. Before that, we look at the writing part, which is the CPE. C is for using connectors. P is for point, and E is for example or explanation. Okay, so the example I am giving over here, first and foremost, okay, this is one of the example of cohesive devices. What is the point? My family did not allow anyone to go outside, and only my dad could go out just to get the essentials. Which is the step taken, which is answering to the prompts.
First prompt,
Example or explanation. So the answer is included for the explanation part lah. Okay, this would help us to be less exposed to the unknown and protect us from getting or spreading the virus. So
Okay.
with these suggestions, using this PE, you got around 43 words.
Yeah.
So estimation around that number. So another one for the body, around 40. And then for interaction, another 40. And then maybe the conclusion, just another 20. Then it will be around that suggested number,
125 to 150 words. Okay.
And also, let's go on
The last C.
one. Okay. So for part 2, please do this. Because what? Consistency is key. I keep on repeating the same thing because we need to check on our spelling errors.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, missing of point. How many that we need to complete, Chris?
We have 3 prompts.
Yeah, 3 prompts. You are given one situation and 3 prompts. Please try to answer all these 3 prompts in order for you to get the best score possible. If you left with 1 or 2, I know it's going to affect your marks. So please bear in mind, you need to do all 3. And also the grammar part. It's always, because you are talking about language, this is English, we are learning about that. So please bear in mind that we need to look into our grammar as well.
All right. I hope those who are watching at home, you're learning a lot. I know I am, and I know you have more confidence answering English paper 2 for part 2. But that is not all. We will be right back after this, after a short break here on DidikTV KPM. We'll see you after this.
DidikTV KPM.
Part 3. 20 slides. 20 slides. So I mean, don't rush so fast lah. Only when he's show. Yeah. But I'm learning. I think the students are learning as well because it's very straightforward. Thanks for the tips. APWC. So next is extended writing.
But we have 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So I'll just go straight. Yeah.
You just go straight to me, then I'll be not so fast, but
Abang Haji. Huh?
I was burping.
Oh.
Okay.
Abang Haji.
I'm promoting my kids. That's why I put my kids.
Oh, that's your kid. Oh.
There you.
Nabila, saya punya clip terkeluar tadi. Dia boleh tolong clip kat jaket. Just as long as dia tak macam keluar sangat. Alright.
DidikTV KPM.
Hey everyone, you're watching Sukses SPM 2021 Pecutan for English Paper 2. And in this segment, I'm here with Mr. Hanin from SMK Unku Aziz, and we will be focusing on Part 3, Extended Writing. So Mr. Hanin, what would you like to share with all the students today to score better in extended writing?
Thank you very much, Chris. So now we are going to focus on part 3, extended writing, which will be given choices a little bit.
Okay.
So choose one of the options. So we are going to reveal the option later on. But what is being asked for the candidates to do? Candidates are required to write an essay in about 200 to 250 words, which is the hardest part of this paper 2, okay? So, and it is based on 3 choices. So that's why I was putting this, choose one of the options. You are going to be given 3 options. The writing style and convention need to follow the requirement of the task and that the candidate choose. So whatever that you choose, you need to remember, you need to follow the type of writing that you have already chosen. So we are going to just go to the next part, which on the focus.
Okay.
What we want to focus on for part 3, Chris? The
So
four things,
the four
right?
C's. The four aspects. So content,
Content, communicative, achievement, and also the next one is,
organization,
and also the last one,
language.
language. Thank you very much, Chris. So, as always, all content must be relevant. Whatever that we write, please, we write on the necessary things that we need to write, the relevant stuff, which is based on the task that you choose, okay? Cognitive achievement, straightforward ideas to hold readers' attention. Once again, you need to hold the readers' attention. Who is the readers? The markers. So you need to pay attention on that because we are writing for a person. So you need to consider that when you are writing.
Yes.
Okay? And also, don't confuse the readers and write clear statement and accomplish the purpose of writing. Okay. Because we are writing maybe there are some format that we need to follow, right?
Yeah.
So accomplish the purpose of the writing, you need to bear in mind.
Okay.
So if you are writing a report, then we need to follow. So that is the purpose of your writing. You need to report on something. If you're writing an article, you are telling somebody about certain thing or certain idea. Okay, and organization, answers are well put together because if you already organize your essay, then it will be
You will flow better.
The flow will be better. Use different variation of cohesive devices. The added word over here is effectively.
Okay.
So that's why it's also important. Whatever connectors or cohesive devices you want to put, please put full use of the connectors. So the connector should be appropriately put. Okay? Okay, and also for the language, use easy and less common vocabulary. And also, errors can still occur because it's very common for us. We do make mistakes. So sometimes if you already check, also the errors still happen. Just go on with that. Yeah, and also varied sentence structures. Yeah, which are the simple, the compound, and also the complex sentences. Okay. What are the options in part 3? Okay, let's look at. We have review. The next one we have report. We have story, and also we have article. Remember, now the options given 4, but in the question there are 3 options. So one will be left out. So I'm not sure which is going to be left out.
Right.
So we need to know 4. Okay. Now, what is your favorite? Okay, Chris. Now, between the 4, what is your favorite?
I think my favorite is, I would choose story.
Okay.
Mainly because it's more, I feel like I can use more of my imagination and be more flexible with my ideas.
Okay.
What about you, sir?
I think I will choose the same as well.
Same?
Story.
Oh,
Yeah.
high five.
Okay, now we go on to the next one, right?
Okay.
What to do? We need to follow this step. It is very helpful to follow a certain strategy when we are writing. So we are going to follow this APWC, which are analyze, plan, write, and also for us to check. So in part 3, for the first part, which is analyze, read and understand the question. How many questions we will get, Chris? We will get 3 questions, 3 options, right?
Okay.
We are just going to choose one. But we need to read through because we need to choose what is best for us. Okay. Choose one of the options, Identify the task that you need to complete, Once you read the options, you identify the task that you need to complete because there are 4 format, but 3 will be out. So if you choose one, for example, story, so you need to identify what kind of story that you need to write. If you are going to write on the report, what kind of report, and review, what kind of review, okay? Remember the items that you need to include in your writing, such as the format. Some got format, so you need to try to follow whatever the format needed for you to complete the task. And also, please ensure you have enough points because points is always important for you to get a better score in your content. Okay. Now, I'm going to show a little bit on all the writing.
Okay.
Yeah. So for review, yeah, for example, you must have your introduction. Yeah, this one is reviewing a film,
All right.
film. Okay, and then this one paragraph. Body, 2 to 2 paragraph. You give a brief summary of the plot. Make comment about what you like or didn't like. Don't be afraid to put what you didn't like about the movie. So the body can be about, the content can be about plot, acting, soundtrack, special effect, costume, ending, and also state a little bit of the conclusion. Okay, but that is for film review.
Okay.
Okay, but please remember there are a lot of reviews that you can do. Yeah, for other things that you need to review. For example, over here I already put, this focus would be different for different type of reviews. It can be about books. It can be about restaurant. It can be about food. It can be about product. So it is good for you to have a knowledge about one particular item for each of this category. Maybe you have a book that you like. Maybe you have a favorite restaurants. Then you can remember all the details about the things that you need to remember lah. Okay. So of course there will be introduction. Yeah. Highlight on the advantages or benefits, or maybe some would know disadvantages and also the weaknesses. So don't be afraid to always, sometimes there can be a negative things that you can write. So don't be afraid to write because we are humans.
Yeah.
It's normal for us to love and hate certain things, okay? And also conclusion, state your general opinion. So that is for review. Now for report, okay. I'm just giving you a little bit of the overview so that you pay attention on the things that you need to include. Okay, so what you need to put on the top, to, from, and the subject. Subject meaning what is the title. Introduction, a little bit on what the report is all about.
Okay.
It can be about the school activities.
All right.
So don't be afraid. It's going to be, the theme is about the activities that the students do at school.
Okay.
Body, give information and expand on the points you want to make because we want to add mark for organization. And make recommendation or suggestion. And last one, please don't forget, state your overall impression of or opinion because we still want to get a good score by including introduction, body, and also conclusion. And for story, we go on to the next one, which is very common choice by our students out there. So please remember, for story, pay attention to this. There must be a triangular set like this. Yeah, in your plan, there must be an exposition, a rising action, a climax, a falling action, and also a resolution. Okay, things to pay attention. Storyline is not cliche, meaning try to be special when you are writing story because story can be between one student to another student can be the same one, like because they keep on like repeating the same storyline that they heard or they know from the novel that they read. Try to be different. Interesting characters. And also try to put unique name. Interesting name because we are letting a person to read us. So how to take their attention? Putting unique name and interesting name. And also there are two types of article. Article of place. Yeah, I show this first. Think of interesting title. Yeah, introduction, you need to give general information. And also refer to what makes the place interesting or why you are going to write. Okay, please include this. And for the body part, describe the place, the site or any other attraction. Don't just write about that one particular place. So what is around that area? Yeah? Give your impression of the place and describe your feeling. Please include yourself when you are writing about this place. And conclusion, sum up your opinion by making a general comment about the place or by expressing your feeling. Okay, for article, the idea. Why idea? Yeah, idea is about, it can be about exercise. It can be about eating healthily. Yeah, give general information about the topic. Refer to what makes the topic interesting or why you are going to write about. Yeah, and then state the reason. Include the advantage or benefit of the idea that you are writing. For example, just now, health. Yeah, Conclusion state your general opinion on the topic. So bear in mind, still got introduction, still got body, still got conclusion. Okay, so when we are writing, you are encouraged to use simple, compound, and complex sentences. So this is a must for you to put inside your writing for part 3. Must have complex sentences. Okay.
All right.
Be straightforward still, because we don't want to beat around the bush.
Okay.
Yes, you can put explanation and whatnot, which is very important.
Yeah.
Include cohesive devices with appropriate usage and organize your thoughts.
All right, sir. So maybe you could share with us, like for all the students watching today who are about to sit for the SPM paper, maybe you have some words of advice or tips for them to score better.
Okay.
Do share.
So which is very good to our last slide. Yeah. Always go through your answer again to check on the spelling error, missing points, and grammar. We want to focus on the points first.
Okay.
So please try to put as many points as possible while at the same time looking at the spelling errors and check your grammar, because
consistency is key. There you have it, students. I hope that you learn a lot for English paper 2. For part 3, I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Hanin, for what you shared, the tips and strategies. I'm more confident in answering, even though I don't have to, but I'm sure those students who are watching are more confident as well. I just want to say to everyone watching, all the best for your SPM. We will see you again here on DidikTV KPM. Bye. Sir, so A, P...
DidikTV KPM.